prior to the creation Adam and Eve of the Garden of Eden. Why were many people there? Looking into the passage of Genesis chapter 4 verse 1, Adam lay with his wife Eve, and she gave birth to Cain and Abel. There were 4 people in the world: Adam, Eve, Cain and Abel. However, as Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him as a result, there were 3 people left: Adam, Eve and Cain. And after Cain killed his brother Abel, when God appeared before Cain and rebuked him, he said, "Whoever finds me will kill me." In that God said to Cain, Genesis chapter 4 verse 15, "Whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him." Hereupon, what we should be aware is that God wouldn't have said to Cain, "If anyone kills you, he will suffer vengeance 7 times over," even putting a mark on him. If there had not been many people around there. Taking this into account, it is so obvious that there were many people living on the earth besides Adam, Eve, and Cain. And reading Genesis chapter 2, verse 8 to 9, there were the tree of life, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. In the Garden of Eden prior to creation Adam, and Genesis chapter 3, verse 1, was serpent. And Genesis chapter 2, verse 6, was a mist over the face of the ground prior to creation Adam. And Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 13, were, prior to creation Adam, 10 kinds of precious stone adorned, as all of which are written in the parables. So they shall be unveiled by matching the word in the scriptures. As stated above, there were the tree of life, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is a parable. And to make sure first, we have to figure out of what the tree was meant by. Refer to Isaiah chapter 55, verse 12. In the Bible, man was compared to a tree, and as written in Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 14, "I will make these people the wood." And in Isaiah chapter 44, verse 23, "Break forth into singing forest, and every tree therein." How possibly can a tree voice out to be sung? It compared a man to a tree. So both of the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil in the garden in Eden meant man. Who then is the tree of life? Reading Proverbs chapter 3, verse 18, "As the one who received the wisdom of God is a tree of life, so, prior to creation, Adam in the Garden of Eden was the one called the tree of life, who has the wisdom of God, and was the tree of knowledge of good and evil." How possibly could a tree distinguish between good and evil? It is also a parable. The tree was likened to a man. It meant the one who speaks good and evil. Refer to Hebrews chapter 5, verse 14, was in the Garden of Eden prior to creation Adam. And there was a serpent in the garden prior to creation Adam. Is a parable too, and compared the wicked. Reading over Revelation chapter 12, verse 9, "As the great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent, the serpent, which deceived Eve, called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray," which signified the serpent, a man. That is to say, it is so certain that the wicked man was said to be a serpent. If a real serpent seduced Eve, which means at that time a serpent was able to talk, then why a serpent nowadays, and in the past, cannot speak up? It is so nonsensical. In Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 13, were there 10 precious stone adorned, which was written in parable as well. And in that, when reading over Exodus chapter 39, verse 14, as written, "And the stones' names of the children of Israel," it was meant for 10 men. So it is for sure there were 10 persons in the Garden of Eden prior to creation Adam. So, as stated above, prior to creation Adam, there were those people in the Garden of Eden, who was called the tree of life, and called the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and called serpent very wicked one, and were 10 people called precious stone for sure. And going over Isaiah chapter 66, verses 17, it apparently testifies that as written, "Into the gardens, following the one who speaks good and evil in the midst of those, to eat, to learn, the flesh of pigs, greedy ones, and rats, thieves, and other abominable things, lying. They will meet their end together." And in the Genesis chapter 2, verse 6, was a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. Prior to creation Adam, as the mist is the figurative word, it needs to match the word in the scriptures to interpret it. Reading over the passage Proverbs chapter 21, verse 6, which it reads, "A fortune made by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor for those who seek death." And over the passage 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 16 to 17, the evildoer meant mists. And over the passage James chapter 4 verse 14, eating for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanishes away. From all of which the mist meant the one who works iniquity, not a morning mist. As said, mist was the whole face of the ground. It is so certain that prior to creation Adam, there were countless people in this world doing iniquity. So, as stated above reading, it is getting surfaced out of the hidden things, which have been kept since the creation of the world, as written in Matthew chapter 13, verse 35. That's all about it.
Subscribe and like.
Thank you for your listening so far.